Hey you guys! Welcome to the dawn of a new era for reality comics TV. We've wrapped our powerful fists about the tiny segments of yesterday and squashed them into one delightful, monstrous wad of comic book related news, reviews, and other delicious tidbits.
So sit back, relax, grab a snack and a smaller, weaker family member, and remember to hit that like and subscribe button. I am David Barrie.
And I am Nicole Barrie. No relation.
And welcome to the very first episode of Super Comic Special!
First in the news, and probably the biggest news to drop from last week, Marvel is ending their 616 and Ultimate Universes during the summer epic event, Secret Wars.
Now, for those of you who are unaware, unless you've watched our Everything You Need to Know About Secret Wars video previously, you should know that the Beyonder smashes a galaxy, creates a planet. That's what he's going to be doing here, taking the Marvel Universe, taking the Ultimate Universe, smashing them together, creating a battle world. A lot of people are really worried about this, however you must realize, similarly to before, the galaxy was eventually reset. So we will probably see the universes return from whence they came at the conclusion of Secret Wars.
CBS confirmed last week that Whiplash star Melissa Benoist will be playing Supergirl in the upcoming TV series of the same name. We knew an announcement was coming soon, but this caught many by surprise. I think it's an interesting cosmetic choice, seeing as Melissa is a brunette, and they'll have to maintain her new blonde hair color and cover up tattoos for every film day. Also, since she'll be Supergirl, she'll never be able to be Batgirl, which I think would be really natural for her.
I think DC TV, if that's what we're going with, needs to stop going to Glee alumni in order to get its superheroes. That being said, I love Grant Gust as Flash, but I think she would have been better as Batgirl personally as well.
Look for yourself.
Fox's new series, Gotham, has promised to integrate many of Batman's classic villains into the show, and last week we got confirmation that Red Hood would be making an appearance in the show at some point this season. My favorite tidbit from a previous episode was when Liza died. Incidentally,
I got my Fish Mooney lipstick on today.
So, I don't actually watch Gotham. But I can tell you who Red Hood is. Red Hood, depending on which iteration and which version of the DC Universe you are reading, was the original persona that the Joker maintained. He was a criminal who wore basically the top half of an aspirin pill on his head with a long red cape. He eventually became the Joker.
It is presumed that everyone's favorite cult classic sci-fi writer / director Joss Whedon will not be doing any more of the Avengers movies, which I did hear that Joss Whedon wanted to do Wonder Woman at some point. And who wouldn't want to do Wonder Woman?
Disney and Marvel found their Christopher Nolan and were like, screw it, let's just not make good movies.
But hey,
At least he's gonna leave it to do the Firefly reboot that we've all been waiting for.
Really? I hate you. Well, personally, I feel that Joss Whedon might be wasted if they continued using him in the Marvel Universe, purely from he really is a cult and more creative individual than what Disney would allow him to maintain.
Finally, on the list of news, the Fantastic Four reboot trailer comes out.
How did we get this far? Human beings have an immeasurable desire to discover.
Be ready for what's coming.
What is coming?
the answers.
That's it for last week's news. Now it's time to turn our attention to what has been happening in comic book TV shows this week on the brand new segment that we like to call Previously On.
Previously on Gotham.
On Arrow. Constantine. On The Flash.
So last week in DCU TV, patent pending, also known as cable TV, we saw the return of Arrow, Flash, and Gotham, while Constantine is now in its second episode since returning from their mid-season break.
And boy, did Arrow return fast.
Oh yeah. This segment contains spoilers, darlings.
So turn away if you don't want to be corrupted.
So, in this week's episode of Arrow, we saw that Oliver Queen was already brought back to life, which personally I thought they could have stretched out a little bit more, leaving the fandom to question whether or not he would actually be returning. I did, however, really enjoy the way they introduced Black Canary, which was basically Oliver's gone, she's gonna kick some ass. Grabs her sister's equipment, goes out onto the town.
Grabbing sister's equipment.
Now, on The Flash last week, we saw Captain Cold and the Huge Wave team up to take on the Flash. So, the big question is, if these two villains combine their powers, would they become
Captain Hurricane? Yuck, 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 yuck.
And that is why Augustine does not write my script.
I really enjoyed this week's episode of Flash. However, when it comes to Barry's confession to Iris, I'm not 100% sure where they're going with this, because I am of the camp that actually believes that Eddie Thawne is in fact the Reverse Flash, not Dr. Wells, because Dr. Wells being Reverse Flash would be way too easy. So I think what's going to happen, classic, hero becomes villain, hero wins back love of his life.
Eddie Thong.
And on Fox last Monday, we had Fish versus Falcone, and it seems like Gotham is back to good form with this episode, with the exception that
RBFB, resting bitch-face Barbara,
still continues to exist. Seriously,
how does the set of Orange is the New Black not notice that Gotham stole Piper?
I don't know what any of that means. I'm not watching Gotham.
And finally, time for the dark and spooky stuff. Last Friday's Constantine got a little personal when Chaz faced a parent's worst nightmare when thousands of people across Brooklyn slipped into a mysterious coma.
Including his own daughter, and it was up to John to figure out how to awaken the victims from this evil force. Now, as you all know, I love Constantine. Constantine needs to get renewed.
Constantly loving Constantine.
This episode was fantastic. The character actor they got to play Chaz is impeccable. The story was wonderful. It dealt with a lot of his issues and also explained why it is he can't die. In fact, we found out he can die 42 times. 47 times.
Remember, you can always catch new episodes of Gotham on Mondays on Fox, Flash on Tuesdays on the CW, Arrow on Wednesdays on the CW, and Constantine on Fridays on the NBC. Let us know in the comments below what you thought of last week's shows. But now it's time to move on to the latest comics releases.
A little show that we like to call The Poe.
First up this week, we have Batman number 38. The Joker is back with a face. This time, no funny stuff. Can Batman track down the clown prince of crime one last time? Probably.
And another dose of the bats can be administered in Catwoman number 38, when the Batman pays a visit to his feline friend. Batman confronts Selina over her ascension to the top of Gotham City's criminal underworld. The top of the bottom, if you will. And the gloves come off.
Probably along with the pants. Harley Quinn number 14. Harley find a new crush without crushing him to death? Her type is rare, generally bloody rare. What hunk of meat will she order up this issue? And is she ordering off menu? Tom Fowler references Miss Quinn's classic costume for his variant cover, a move I'm certain will be raved about within the Quinn fanbase.
Raved! Raved!
Future's End number 39? Wow. Dr. Polaris is now aboard the Justice League satellite. And what is that up in the sky? A space bird? A space plane? No, nothing but a super problem.
Gotham Academy number 4. Our team of youngsters is getting down to it. They're in pursuit of the ghost of Gotham Academy. I've been eagerly awaiting this issue, as have all the little scamps on my block. I have little scamps.
Aquaman number 38. Hell hath no fury, like a telepathic gorilla mother scorned. Gorilla Grodd went down, and now other problems are coming up for Aquaman. From like the bottom of the sea, because he's...
I did a bubbling motion.
That's what that is.
Deathstroke number 4. Gotham is a great place to meet people. Villains, heroes, and their coordinating, plot-enriching relationships are the keystone of this great city, are they not? This issue, Harley Quinn joins in the fun.
Gotham's like LinkedIn for insane people.
V Wars number 10. You know what the V stands for? And LaShonda may not like them one bit, but she may have to put up with quite a lot for the mission's sake. New major character Strega hits the scene, and I bet she's a real witch. If Ryan Brown and Marco Turinis' cover from the issue don't excite a salivary response, take a peek at issue number 11's cover. Get on board.
Bitch Planet number 2. This title's premiere issue has already rallied such good hype, but let's just pepper it a little bit more promotion, shall we? Looks like a friendly game of boys versus girls and a rousing game of blood sport. Are we all cheering for the home team?
Magdalena Origins Trade Paper Volume 1. This collection contains 12 full issues, as well as bonus looks into the Magdalena's other appearances throughout the Top Cow universe.
Top Cow. Amazing X-Men number 16. The powerful gem of Sidorak is beckoning, calling for the formation of a new juggernaut. The gem's irresistible power leaks temptation to the hearts of even the best X-Men. That's impressive.
That was good. I like
impressed
that.
myself.
Deadpool 41. Another smart cover delivered by Mark Brooks this week. Dusty desert explosions and other leisurely times spent with our principal pal. Nova number 26. Rocket into a new adventure this issue. Wah, wah.
Spider-Man and the X-Men number 2. A razor-toothed love triangle is revealed during an unscheduled field trip orchestrated by Sauron. Not the Lord of the Rings. The Spider Chaperone is only 2 issues in, but so far it's been more School of Hard Knocks than School for the Gifted.
Thor number 4. Thor number 4. Thor number 4. Well, that didn't take long. It's Thor versus Thor this issue. The Odin son, head-to-head with the new hammer Harpy.
Uncanny Avengers number 1. A new team of Avengers emerges from the smoke of Axis, and an old foe strikes at the scent of its vulnerability.
You smell vulnerable.
Sorry.
Not volatile.
Oh.
Now for some hot covers from this week. First on our list, George Maguro's cover for Dark Shaman number 4 is sweeping and natural, as well as eerie. And you know how much I like accurate proportions.
Michael Brossard's art for Captain Midnight is fantastically illuminated, offers wonderful colors and energy.
Riley Rossmo's cover for Clive Barker's Nightbreed number 9 is full of motion, great coiffure, and it's utterly alluring.
The inkiness of Christopher Mitton's style is really appealing to me, not unlike an octopus. Every Umbral issue I've seen has turned my head. This week's issue is no exception.
Tom Mueller did this chilling high contrast cover for Zero number 14. Its graphic style is really grabbing.
High shadow, near silhouetted shapes, Fran Bueno's illustration of hands for Graveyard Shift 2. Just look at them. They are phenomenal. Better than Rob Liefeld's feet.
Jennifer Zone makes this cover interesting by giving it a worm's eye angle, and the soft colors contrast dark, haunting eyes, which steal attention despite their small dimming in the composition.
That was deep.
Thank you.
Francisco Mattina makes Spider-Man 2099 look gripping with an overstuffed cover that isn't too busy. Love it. Well done and well balanced. I would totally judge this book by its cover.
I always do.
And finally, I think Diana Skelly's cover for Sonic Boom #4 is just tops. And so is her name.
Just tops. Don't forget, visit your local comic book stores on Wednesdays to pick up all of these and other great titles. And speaking of comic book stores, that brings us to the spot. So for all convention lovers, remember that WonderCon Anaheim 2015 badges are now on sale through comiccon.org, so get your tickets while you still can, unless you're like me and you're bitter that it left San Francisco. If you're in the Sacramento area and want to check out some fun Magic tournaments, head over to Metropolis Comics on Friday night at 6 p.m. to take part in their Friday Night Magic meetups. And to all comic writers and aspiring comic book writers, head on over to here, Empire's Comic Vaults, on Thursday at 5 p.m. to meet other writers and take part in this creative brainstorming and network building event hosted by none other than our favorite Ben Schwartz.
The Schwartz.
May the Schwartz be with you.
And he will be on Thursday.
We also wanted to highlight some of the great work that women are doing in the comic book industry right now, with just a few names to drop this week. First off, Gail Simone is whipping out story after story. This week, the continuation of Lara Croft's deadly adventures in Tomb Raider 12.
She's hilarious on Twitter too. Wendy Piney is working ever closer to the eventual closure of the long-running series ElfQuest in issue 7, The Final Quest.
It's Wendy Peony like Scalapini.
Oops.
Becky Cloonan continues to supply suspense in the relatively new Gotham Academy series. On a side note, the storyline is great for boys and girls, men's and women's.
And scams. Joyce Chin supplies a pin-up-worthy variant cover for the Vampire Goddess Purgatory issue number 5 this week.
And Sabine Rich's cover for Dark Shaman #4 is sure to turn a few heads at the new release rack. So, this week, viewer and friends of the show, Charles asked, how do you feel about the reboot of the Marvel Universe? How do you feel about the reboot of the Marvel Universe?
I'm okay with it. I think we've gotten some great stories so far. I think there's probably not going to be huge changes made. I feel like just the same way Convergence is bringing together different time and events in the DC universe, Marvel is bringing together different time and events. I think it's going to be pretty enjoyable. I don't think there's going to be too much craziness. I don't think anyone's just going to stop buying Marvel Comics because of this reboot of the Marvel Universe. Suppose it. We're not even sure if they're going to reboot it yet. They could
It's
put
gonna
it
be like 1999.
exactly. They could just put it right back to when Rob Liefeld was drawing Fiend. I just can't get over that.
And now we would like to announce the winner of the Xbox Live giveaway. The winner is Jose Gonzalez. Congratulations, Jose. You have won.
Killpocalypse.
Before we go, we have another giveaway to announce. This week, we're giving away a $20 GameStop gift card to one lucky viewer who can answer this question. In Marvel's The Avengers, what is the address to Stark Tower?
Here's a hint. Think of Charlie Brown's dog. Don't think about him like that.
Like always, we will be announcing the winner next week in another random drawing. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Super Comic Smash Up. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button before you leave and post your answer to this week's trivia in the comments below.
And if you have any questions, also post those there. Until next time, I am Nicole Barrie.
And I am David Barrie, still no relation.
CBS confirmed last week that Whiplash star Melissa Benoist will play Supergirl. I lose.
Tom Fowler references Miss Quinn's classic costume for his variant cover. And, yeah, I don't know what the that said. Indeed. The question mark squares confused me.